Oh no. Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 minute. I am really excited about moving forward with our party. Yeah, I'm excited too. It should be a really good party. Just got a couple more questions before I sign the contract. So if you don't mind, let me just get out my questions here. One, what kind of lighting do you use? Specifically, do you use Chauvet? Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Chauvet lights, but I have a lot of other ones. There's a lot of good companies out there. Okay. Do you use RCF speakers? No, I use JBL and QSC, depending on the size of your party, but they're all good speakers. Last question, the most important question I have. Do you mix in key? Do I mix in key? Well, I mean, I was at a party once and the DJ played a transition that was completely out of key. I could not unhear it, ruined my whole night. Can I see your Serato mixed in key playlist, please? What is going on? What is going on? Tech Thursday, aka the DJ Cleveland Terry Show. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm starting to put content out again, so I'm very happy about that because I've just been swamped. But we're getting there. We're getting to a point where my mind is starting to work a little bit again. People don't realize it's quite hard to do review videos. And everybody thinks it's so easy. And it's one of those running jokes because I always see people that are like, oh man, I could do that. I could blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, if you can do it, do it. But the reality is this takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of attention to detail. And it takes a personality. Now, I'm not saying that my personality or my attention to detail is better than somebody else's. I'm just saying that the average person, it's going to be harder than they think. And anytime I always see somebody, they're like, I'm going to do this. I can do this. And then they shoot their video and I'm like, hey, you're exactly where I thought you'd be, you know, because it's not the same. It's the same thing as if, you know, you always run into DJs, like you're DJing a wedding, you're on a gig or something like that. And the DJ will come up to you and they're like, I DJ too, you know, and you're like, okay, cool. And then, hey, maybe I can get on. And you're like, sure. Or they're like, oh, I'm an MC. I'm really good at talking on the microphone. Okay. I did that in my old company back in whatever town they used to come from. So then they come to us, they work for us. I give them a microphone, they get on, and I'm like, you need a lot of work. What do you mean? I did all this at my other place and they were all, well, it's not the same here. Standards are different here. My standards are considerably higher than yours. So I'm not saying anybody can't do anything. Anybody, any human being can do anything that another human being can do at some point. Just maybe not in the beginning. Maybe not ever. I know tons of people that tried to do this and, you know, for whatever reason, it didn't work out for them. It happens. I get it. You know, I find that in this situation, in this type of gig, it helps you to be opinionated. I mean, it really helps you if you're an asshole, in all honesty. If you're that guy or girl and you're just like being completely polarizing, you know, somebody says this, you say go the other way, you're going to get a lot of views. You're going to get a lot of views. But when you're trying to really make a point, sometimes your views don't necessarily jive. And in this climate, in the political climate and everything, everybody's all about the hate. Everybody's about the hate. And if you can do hate stuff, you can do very well here. That is not something that I'm willing to get into. That's not something that I'm willing to do at all. That's not my vibe. And don't get me wrong, I can shit talk like the best of them. Okay. I hold back a lot of because I can be petty. But I've grown. I've gotten more mature. I've gotten more mature. I feel like, you know, I'm in a pretty good place in my life mentally. So when these things happen, oh, I'm absolutely holding back. People don't realize just how brutal I can be. They don't realize that. They see me smiling and laughing. Ha 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 ha. Some idiot comes on, makes a comment. You have no idea how bitter and how petty that I can go. Because I don't just talk about what's in front of me. I'll research you. I'll get all the tea on you. And I will let you have it. And it'll all be facts. It'll all be facts. but I'm trying to keep a happy home here. So hopefully some of you have seen the KC12 video that I just put out. I've been doing it over the last couple of days, but I really got into the details and, hopefully gave you a video that works. You never really know. I did notice when I was watching the video over again, there was one gaffe where it looks like I repeated myself because I didn't edit it out. Life, man, life. It's really hard when you have, you're shooting multiple scenes, content over here, and you're trying to put it all together and you're trying to make it make sense. So a lot of times, when I'm doing I shoot videos as if I'm not going to do another one. So the stuff that I was talking about in the warehouse and the stuff I'm talking about when I'm here, a lot of those things might coincide, and I just try to find the best place to use them so it's smooth. That's it. It's very simple, but yet very hard because, it takes a while. Anyway, thank you guys. Didn't get to watch yet. I'm sure you will, Matthew. I'm not worried about it. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I have learned to not take anything personal when it comes to social media. And, a lot of times people, they either have their opinions or they feel a certain way. And again, I'm not here to tell people. I've kind of stopped that. If you haven't noticed in my videos, I've stopped. I'll tell my opinion. I'll tell what I think, but you're usually never going to hear me say, and I say usually because things can change, but you usually never hear me say, you need to go buy this. You need to go buy this. It's not going to happen. Okay. Because it's not my place to tell you what to buy or what you can afford or what you need, and in this day and age, 2025, there's a lot of gear, and a lot of gear is very, very good. I noticed one person, I don't remember the name, but I was looking through the comments and they had said, thank you for the video, especially thank you for the side-by-side, because they had the LD28G3s and they were thinking that they had to upgrade, to the KC12s. And they're like, I'm glad to know that while the KC12s, are better, and they should be, they're a brand new speaker. They should be better than a speaker that's 2 to 3 years old. That's just facts. But a lot of people, they get buyer's envy. And they're sitting there going, should I buy it? Should I do this? Should I do that? And then they don't realize that the speakers that they already have are, if not the same or on par, maybe they're a little beneath it. But your speakers are still good. If you've spent money on speakers, they're going to be good. Now, the funny thing about it is, even when I'm comparing the 28s and the KC12s, where I'm like, God, yeah, they do sound good. But I think I've used this analogy before. It's like going to Best Buy, or whatever retailer you guys have in your neck of the woods. And you go in and you're looking for TVs. You go in there and you're looking at all the TVs, and all the TVs are right next to each other and everything's there. And you can literally say, okay, well, that OLED TV is better than that LCD TV. I know that. Okay. And this LCD TV is better than this LCD TV. And then you go, well, I don't want to buy the cheap one because the cheap one, it's not going to be as good. It's not as good as this OLED. Now the OLED is like, $1,500 more. So you're just like, you buy this TV that you can afford and you're like, I hope I made the right choice. And you get it home. You take off that old ass TV you used to have. You hang up the new TV. You turn it on. And my God, is it beautiful. It's beautiful. It's exactly what you wanted. It's night and day better than the stuff you had before, but it's still beautiful. Is that OLED still better? Yes, that OLED is still better. But as long as you're not putting things side to side in your house, nobody's going to know. They're just going to go, it's a good looking picture. DJ Stigma with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate that. Why won't you go up? Oh, because I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Because every single I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Stigma. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate that. It's every dollar. Now I remember every dollar is going towards my daughter's bat mitzvah, which happens to be at the end of August. So I appreciate every dime that I get. People think I'm rolling in money. I got kids in college. I have multiple children in competitive dance. The money's not there. The money's going other places, so every chance that I get, absolutely, I appreciate you guys all. And it makes me coming here, makes it worthwhile. It's so funny. The KC12 video I put up yesterday, and I always do. By the way, if you guys aren't members, you might want to think about becoming a member. I always put up my videos for members earlier. It could be a day before. It could be, half a day before. It could be a couple days, depending on what it is. Like for the KC12s, I released the KC12 video at like 7 o'clock yesterday, but then I didn't release it to everybody else until 7 o'clock the following day. So you get, first dibs. And I want to do that. I'm going to start doing some more videos, kind of behind the scenes videos too, for members only. I want to make sure that you guys get what you need out of this. And I'm even considering doing a members only. I'm considering doing a members only show. Maybe I do it once a month, where it's just members. We can get into the weeds of whatever you're trying to do. Almost like a consultant in a certain way. So I'm probably going to do one of those once a month, along with my normal Thursday show. So anyway, and there's more to come. Okay. Thank you, Lance. He's very, very good. He's better at tap than I've ever been at anything in my life. Anything in my life, he's better at with just tap. It's insane. And he's been tapping since he was, I don't know, 6 years old, give or take. And even when he started tapping, it was interesting because he started tapping, and there's always people that are better than you at first. So, you don't intimidate them. But then because he's kind of a prodigy when it comes to tap. I mean, I'm not trying to say this because he's my son. I don't have to say this. The tap teachers and the people that do tap that see him all say the same thing. He's a prodigy. So he got better than a lot of the other tappers fast. And then when that happened, people start to get a little jealous, a little envious. And it's always drama. So anyway, when you're really good at something, you kind of live a little bit of a lonely life. But it is what it is. He loves to tap. I agree. It was better at the place. Somebody else took the video and I'm like, can you send it to me? And so, but yes, anyway, he's very, very good. Do a video on budget gear. Some is better than others. Well, I mean, I guess the question is, what do you consider budget gear? I think that's kind of the question, because budget gear can be $500 nowadays. The Phoenix Pro microphones are technically budget gear, but the good ones are still, $500-600. So it's all relative. You know what I mean? It's all relative. But yeah, I've been thinking about that. I'm going to do the Phoenix Pro video. I'm also going to do a video about stuff that I've used over the past year and what I'm still using. If I've noticed anything, I'm going to do that. $1,000 is open. That's everything. that's a Groove 6. That is a Ref 5. I mean, it's entry level, but not really entry level. It's like mid entry is what I call it. But we'll see. Yeah, tapping has become a relatively lost art. Yeah. I mean, the people who are in the industry, it's a very small industry, but, once you're in it, you're in it. You know what I mean? So it's, we know all the best tappers, and even like, oh God, what is his name? The great tapper, starts with an S. I can't think of his name right now.
I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, he taught at one of the conferences. Not Gregory. Gregory's amazing, but no, he's still alive. He taught at one of the conferences, and he saw my son and was like, "Look, man, anytime you're out," because he's always in New York, he's like, I want to bring you in. So once you're a good tapper, yeah, if they're doing anything tap related, they always call in their people. He's actually done a couple of videos. He did one with, what's the Dancing with the Stars guy? He has a sister. Anyway, I'm going brain dead about names right now, but, the white guy, Dancing with the Stars, can't remember his name right now. Anyway, he's done a couple of videos for him. He's a great DJ too. So he's just really good at art. You know, he draws on the side. Like, he's that kid. He's pure art kid. And, it's great, except for the fact that, like, he's a pure art kid. So you have to, like, beat the discipline in him. He's disciplined with everything he loves. If he doesn't love it, it is the worst. He's the worst. Artists are the worst people. Anyway, Sammy Davis Jr. was a great tapper. I mean, is that even a statement? I mean, yes. He's one of the best. he really is. Okay. Yes, Derek. He's done stuff for Derek, and Savion Glover. Thank you. See, I just had to wait and go from there. And my daughter, she's a really good all around dancer. She's really good at tapping too. But she's an all around dancer. Like, she has better arms than my son. My son has terrible arms. They're better now, but her arms are just beautiful because she does all the disciplines, you know? But she's not as good as him. So she's always kind of living in his shadows, which is weird because they're like, 6 years apart, but you can still be in a shadow no matter what. The joy of having siblings that are better than you. All right, let's see here if, I know there was a question up here. Let me go back up. Max says, I hate how if I open the notification early, it never loads the stream. Sorry. Zimmy has 4 weddings this weekend, Friday through Monday. Hey man, that's fantastic. We go through those weeks too. July's our dead month as far as events are concerned. We go with the school year. So when I hit July and I don't have any parties, I'm so happy. People are like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here, do some stuff I like, just relax for a minute, because the season is a grind, especially because we're a full production house. We're always trying to figure out, like, August 23rd. We have, 7 events on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. On the Saturday, we have obviously 7 full events, but then 2 of them are LED wall installs, and then another one is a full lighting install. So it just gets real busy real fast, and it's an energy suck for me like crazy, but we'll get there. I love doing it. I'm not complaining. Pays my bills, and the production stuff is completely gave us more padding in regards to just our bottom line. Until we got into production, we always made it through the year. We always had money, left over to get us through July, because there's like 6 weeks where there's no, besides deposits and maybe some final balances, but we're not doing any parties. So there's no like real money coming in July. So we've always had to kind of float it. And since we started doing production, legitimately, we've had a lot of padding, and it's been great not having to think about, like a teacher, like, how am I going to do this? So it's been good. Okay, let's see here. Wickham says, thanks again for the KC12 review and speaking facts on the delusion of what those speakers can handle. Too many people with unrealistic expectations and claims. Yeah. And I try to be, I try to be as civil and as constructive as I can when it comes to those types of things, because I'm not trying to make people feel like crap. I'm not trying to make QSC feel like crap. And a lot of times there's a fine line between like saying I don't like this and I don't like this and this and but also being constructive and giving real feedback that they can take with them and use, because these companies watch these videos. I didn't get my QSCs from QSC, but they still watch the videos. They may not say anything in the comments, but they still watch the videos. So I try to be as precise as possible, because I know that if I say something is like questionable, they're gonna be like, oh, see, he doesn't want us to do well. He doesn't want us to succeed. He really hates QSC. I'm like, I'm not like that. I just, you brought a speaker out that's good, but it's not like night and day better than any other. It's not like when the EV90s came out. They were a completely different speaker. Nobody's doing 18-inch column arrays. So that alone, it was like, okay, we can talk about this. There's no one else to compare it to because there's nothing else like it out there. But when you start to drop down to the the 12-inch speakers, even the 15s, the 70s are a perfect example. I love the 70s. They're great speakers, but there are speakers that are in that zone that do just as well. Okay. So like, we have the Mauis at home. We have the Mauis in the office, and we have the EV70s. I've been using the EV70s as kind of like my replacement to kind of my QSC point source system. It's like in between my point system and the 28G3s. So I've been using the 70s, for that, but they're really good. But if somebody was like, I have the Mauis, I'd be like, you know what? You're fine. You don't need to update. Like the 70s was a direct response to the Maui 44s. Okay. And they may not say it out loud, but I've talked to them like, yeah, you needed a 15. So I think it's good. And I know that QSC at some point is going to come out with a 15 too, a KC 15, and it's going to be good. It's going to be a little better than probably the EV70s. But once you get to a certain level, if you got something, enjoy it. Okay. That's funny. That is funny. All right. Eric says, hey, any thoughts on the Humpter B3? It's time to upgrade to DJ Furniture. So just been shopping around. Which one you use? So we have the original Humpter. The B3 is a good desk. Although I kind of feel like it's more suited for like in the office. Yes, you can break it down and take it with you, but like if I got a B3, it'd be my production desk at the house, but it's a very, very good one. And then they fix some things that like the Humpter had or didn't have. So they're good. They're good. All right, let's see here. Did I do a side-by-side with the 70s? No, it wasn't necessary. The 12s, the 28G3 12s was good enough. Once you watch the video, you'll understand why. And I'm not going to get into too many details because I want you to watch the video. People aren't going to send me stuff if like I talk about it all on the show and then in the video I get no views. They're going to be like, so your views are questionable at best. I'm like, okay, here we go. Like they don't get it. So, but the 70s would have, I feel like the 70s would have blown the KC12s out of the water, in all honesty. The 70s have a much better low end than the 12s, than the KC12s do. And their highs, I believe, are going to be pretty much the same. Because when I tested the 70s with the 44s, Maui has a very contained sound. The 70s were super bright as far as the highs are concerned, just like the KC12s are. So it would be essentially, yeah, they sound good, but the 70s are better. And they should be. They're 15s. They should be better. Okay. Carvin has a 28-inch column array. I'm sorry. An 18. Has an 18-inch column array. Yeah, but it's Carvin. No disrespect to Carvin, but most people aren't buying Carvin for their DJ setups. You know what I mean? They're probably good, but it's Carvin. I know. It sounds dumb. So this is a big thing, Keith. You actually nailed it, because I can look at the video right now, and people always give me the same silly comment. I usually ignore it, but this comment: if you had all the money in the world, which one would you buy? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because it's never about all the money in the world. It's about what's best for the event that you're doing. That's it. That's all it is. It's very simple. You know, so I'm never going to say, oh, well, if I had all the money in the world, I would get this. I mean, if I had all the money in the world, I'd probably have them all. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even think about it. So there's a lot of good speakers now. Groove 6 is amazing. Yes, it is. Keith says, I say, buy it, try it, don't like it, take it back. It's pretty expensive. Buy it and try it. Thank you, Will. Appreciate that. You know what? That's it. That's it. It's just, and it's so weird. I mean, I always find myself, I'm sure you guys all go through the same thing. It's like every time you make more money, something comes up, something finds a way to take that extra money. You know, like we got out of the pandemic, we raised our rates. Everything was like, great. Oh, look. Oh, this is nice. My pocket's feeling a little softer. And then inflation. And then everything was more expensive. Dollar's gone. You know, I got dance. I got my kids in school. I have a bat mitzvah at the end of the month. It's like every little thing. And then after this, after we do the bat mitzvah, I got to pay the bat mitzvah back. And the kids are in school, all this stuff. It's nonstop. And I make this joke, but it's dead serious. If you have kids in competitive anything and you're travel teams, people don't realize how much money goes out for travel stuff. Travel expenses are a nightmare with your kids, you know, and they do it on purpose. The travel companies, like my kids are in dance. Well, now just one kid now, but my kid's in dance. So what do? The dance convention is from, like, let's say Friday through Sunday. Okay. What they'll do is they'll put all the younger people, you know, because most of the time, as far as dance are concerned, you have more young kids and you have like teenagers. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll put all those young kids, events, whether it be their competitions or whatnot, they'll put all those things in the morning, and it'll be like 7 a.m. And normally you're like, okay, cool, 7 a.m. But no, because you have to be there by 5:30. They got to warm up. They got to do all the stuff. They got to do run throughs. Sorry, my nose is itching. And what happens when I wash my face before I come in here and the fan's on. So they have to be there. They got to go through their run throughs. They make them early. So parents were like, well, I can't get my kid up at 3:30 in the morning and then drive them an hour and a half to the venue. Sucks for me. It sucks for them. And if you're married, you're not arguing that. You're not arguing no, honey, we're just going to get up. Or if she's the only one taking the kid, no, honey, you're just going to get up at 3:30 and then drive her there. Doesn't work. So you end up having to get a hotel. All right. So you get the hotel. Everything is built in, you know, they have all the prizes and stuff. All the restaurants are there. You don't want to go out because usually you're in between stuff. So you just want to grab something really quick. Food at hotels is like $30 per meal. Like, it just adds up really fast. You know, every single competition, she does like 6 competitions, and then she has nationals. Every competition, they usually stay over. Sometimes they go in on Friday morning. Most times they go Thursday night. So from Thursday through Sunday, every competition, I will spend $1,500 to $2,000. Every competition. And then you get to nationals. Nationals are 10 days. 10 days. It costs $3,000 just to be there. 10 days. 10 days in a hotel just to be there. Then they got to eat, you know, and you're not at home. You don't have stoves. So now you got to order out every day. So you have $3,000 right off the bat for the hotel. And then you're spending $75 per meal, maybe even $100. Like I got 4 people. So you're spending like $100 a meal. All right. So that's $300 per day. And then I had to cut it back on our nationals in June. I'm like, yo, you guys got to, I'm going to the grocery store. You're going to make a sandwich. Like, this is ridiculous. We have to cut back because when it's all said and done, I'll spend $5-6 grand on that. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about $12,000, $6,000. So $18,000 a year. And that's not paying for dance. That's just paying for competition. $18,000 per year, give or take. You know what else I could do with $18,000 per year? Like just in general? The KC sub is wood and plastic. It's both. Scowl. Top is plastic. Sides are wood. Metal grill. So it's a combination of the two. Okay. Let's see here. Behringer is trash. It might be, but they've been around forever. I think my first like 8-channel mixer was like a Behringer. Dirty pots. But it worked. Did the job. Any luck arranging a demo for RCF gear? Not until I see them at the expo. Somebody asked if I was going to the expo. I am doing multiple things. Let's see here. I have a panel on Tuesday. I fly in on Monday. I don't even get in until like 7 o'clock to the hotel on Monday. Then they have, you know, the night stuff. Tuesday, I will be going to all the I'm trying to see some of the panels. I have a panel at the end of the day. So around 5 o'clock, I have a panel, social media panel with Justin the DJ and Christian. Anyway. And then that night, I'm one of the DJs in the evening session or the evening show. So I'm the one doing it with like Babu and Shortcut and all that stuff. I'm also shooting a full live stream from the expo for Hollywood DJ. So a little bit of everything. Busy time. Reviews on retro DJ gear. How retro do you want to go? Gallo, how retro do you want to go? How about a giveaway on your old equipment you have? I don't have old equipment, Wayne. All of my old equipment typically goes to the company. So if I'm not using it and it's good, I'm just going to put it into the company and one of my other DJs will use it. So yeah, I don't really give away anything. And to be honest with you, I have, I'm just looking around right now. Like I have gear right now. Now, some of it's not mine. It's like extended rentals, however you want to take that. Like I have gear that's just here. At any point they can say, hey, by the way, do you still have that blah, blah, blah? We need it back. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't, you know? So, I will happily keep it. Like for instance, the Rev 5 is a perfect example. I still have the Rev 5 but I also have a Rev 7. I also have a Rain Performer. So when the Rev 5 came and my son was using the Rain 1 for the longest time, he started using the Rev 5 and he loves it. So I'm like, you just use the Rev 5. It's better to be used than to not do anything. So, yeah, I keep all my gear. Yeah. So much gear around here. I do have to clean up a little bit though. All right. King Biggs in the building. What's going on? Okay. This is true, Ernesto. People think DJs like DJing all the time, but we need some relaxing time because it can get tiring with so many events back to back. Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get that it's a job. It's still a job, no matter how much you enjoy doing it. It is still a job, And if you're a popular DJ company, you spend just as much time in admin stuff all week, and then you're also DJing. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, same with us. Like right now, I have somebody. I still have last minute people trying to book September, October, November. The booking has been really weird this year. I mean, we have our people that book 1 to 2 years in advance, so those are always there. But I also have a lot of people like September 6th. I've turned away multiple people on September 6th. And I had one lady with an attitude yesterday. She scheduled a meeting. I call from within my office. My Ring Central is on a hard line. My computer is plugged into the network, via Ethernet. Call her. Clearly, she's on a cell phone somewhere, okay? She answers, hello. She can't hear me. Hang up, call her back. Same thing. Hello. I call her back again. And she's like, you need to, and then you hear her like getting frustrated. This is ridiculous. You need to get your shit together. And now I'm like, okay, that was unnecessary. So then I finally call her back and connect with her. And she's just like, I don't know what's going on with your system. I'm like, first off, I'm the only one on a hard line. You're the one on the cell phone. It's not me. I said, but either way, unless your party is during the day, we can't do it. And she's just like, oh, what? So angry. And I'm like, look, man, I mean, not to mention, if we were available, I don't know if we're available for you anymore. If this is the way you react to people not being able to connect on a phone call. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe you're having a bad day, but I don't know. You kind of seem like you're going to be high maintenance. And the fact that you're calling for September 6th and you have an attitude, like, people don't realize that, like, I'm not saying there's DJs everywhere. There's DJs around the world, obviously. There's thousands and thousands of DJs. There's not thousands and thousands of good DJs, okay? Like reputable DJs. But there's a whole bunch of DJs. But you can't, it's not like, you're going to 7-Eleven and you want some M&Ms and they don't have the M&Ms and you're angry. Like, sorry, sometimes we're not available. And we're going to pick and choose who we want to do events for. People think that, like, we just want all the money. I don't want all the money. I don't want all the money. I don't want all the money. I want good parties. I want good parties and good people. I already have enough crazy. I mean, look, first off, I'm Jewish. So there's nothing racist about what I'm going to say. Jewish women, I'm married to one. Jewish women can be nightmares. Okay. You have to know how to talk to a Jewish woman, because for whatever reason, Jewish women, and this is probably the same for a lot of ethnicities, but Jewish women always assume that the party's going to suck. So they're always like concerned and trying to, and you have to just like calm them down. Like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Like, that's my strength. I'm really good at calming down crazy women. And so that's why when I get home and I'm talking to my wife and she's doing the same thing, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. She's like, why aren't you like this to me when you're out to your people? And I'm like, because they pay me. I don't want to get this drama for free. So it's one of those funny things. And I'm just, when you see the writing on the wall, sometimes it's best to just walk away. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be available for that date. Yeah, I don't think we have what you're looking for. And you called on September 6th for September 6th. Don't be freaked out when I say we're not available. The secret to having a good marriage? Shit. I don't know. I mean, I've been married for Well, our anniversary is tomorrow. And we just hit our 20th. Have we been married since? Let's see. My son is just turned 19. I got to do the math right now. That's why I'm doing it with you, not like anybody else. I'm not going to say it to her. I don't know our date, but let's see. Our son's 19. He was born in 2007. Is that right? Is that math right? Yeah. 2006. We were married. Yeah. So we were married in 23. 24. Anyway, it's either 21 or 22 years. I'll get it down. It's somewhere around here. What is the way to keep a happy home? You really want to know the truth? Well, every woman is different. My wife, we're really good as long as I don't tell her no. I don't think I'm like out there with my wife. I think that's pretty normal. As long as I don't tell her no, our relationship is perfect. The moment I start telling her no to things, all the drama kicks in. Always. So it is and she's living a pretty good life. I mean, in all honesty. She's living a pretty good life. But still, there's every so often I'm like, we can't do that. We can't do that. No, we can't do that. And like I just smacked her in the face. So to each their own. Yeah, my wife, you guys know, I do this stuff. I do analysis like for a hobby / living and then my company. So this is what I do. She lives off of emotion and not facts. So when I bring facts into the equation, I'm in the wrong. So even when she's wrong, my wife does not admit she's wrong. She'll do her thing. And then like the next day I hear her talking to her friends or whomever, like, oh yeah. And she's saying all the things that I said, but just not to me. So there you go. But we've been together since 2000. So we've been together for 25 years. I don't know, man. I don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer for you. I just try to keep the peace, and then you bring kids into the mix. And my son, so easy all the time. My oldest daughter, who's 27, still crazy. My youngest daughter, who's 13, so crazy. What I don't like right now, I don't like living because my son, he'll go back to college in like 4 weeks. I don't like living with girls. Like it's all I have are girls. So anytime there's like an issue, it either goes to super emotion and the worst part is like the worst part of my life is my daughter and my wife having an argument. Okay. Having an argument and whatever, it's getting crazy. My daughter's getting super emotional. She's like crying a heartbeat. And I'll step in. Let me give you guys a hint of advice. If you have girls and you're still married, don't step in. There has never been one time where I've stepped into a conversation that I didn't get slapped the shit out of. There's never been a day. And I could be completely right. But for whatever reason, the way I say it is so much worse than the way that my wife says it. We're saying the same thing, but I'm not allowed. So I just stopped. When I argue now, I go like, there's a couple things that I have now. First off, I have my office. I can go in here, shut the door, do my thing. I got a Steam Deck copied the Legion Go, and anytime I'm done with them, I'll just go to the other couch because we do have multiple rooms. I'll go to the other couch and I'll just zone out. I'll just zone out. It's the only way. That's how you keep the peace. You know, it's dumb. Anyway, okay, let's get back to some real questions here. Do you plan to review the iKOA Pro? No, I don't. I don't have any. And there's a story behind the iKOA Pro. The first time LD ever emailed me was for the iKOA Pros. And they're like, hey, we want you to review this, whatever. And I go and I always do the same thing. I go online, I type it in, I see what it is, saw the price point, and I said, well, these are going to be shitty. And I don't want to, when you're dealing, if they're sending you, I don't know, a DMX box or, you know, a controller, that kind of stuff, you can just take, and if you don't like it, whatever, you get rid of it or give it to somebody. Speakers come in a big ass box and you don't send them back, typically speaking. So they come in this big ass box, and the price wise, I was like, these look like shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what the price told me. No, there's no way. There's no way a sub can be good at this price point. There's no way. So I told them, I'm good. I'm good. And then it must have been, I don't know, 6 months to a year later. And I start seeing all these videos on them, and people were telling me, oh my God, they're so amazing. Yeah, that's on me. That's a me thing. I screwed that one up. I'm sure if I called them and said, send them to me, they would. I think everybody knows that they're good. You know what I mean? They know that they're good now. They're probably some of the best bang for your buck out there. Phil Tan in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Wickham says, I still don't understand why so many people are trying. Why are people? Okay. Hold on. Let me just text my son. Okay. Do not disturb. All right. Yeah, and Wickham, you're right. You're right. I think we talked about that already. All right. Keith says, I did a ceremony with one Everse 8 and had a concert production trying to tell me it wouldn't be enough. With the singer, guitarist, and officiating for like 100 people. The surprise came. Yeah. The Everse 8s are I still got to review the Everse 8s. I never did, but I use the Everse 8s on every event I have now. I use them for ceremony every time. They're just good. They're really good speakers. The Mackie dumps are good. And for the price point, they're really good, but they're not as good as the Everse. They're not, but they're still good. As a matter of fact, so last year at the expo, Pioneer Alpha Theta did their sunset sessions with their speakers, their wireless speakers. This year, Mackie's doing it. So there's going to be a whole bunch of thumb goes all around the outside complex. So we'll see if they're just as good. I have a feeling they should be, but you know, will they be as good? I would have loved to have, maybe Everse will do it for the next year. Anyway. Okay. DJ Pro now supports the Flex 10. Rich, the Flex 10 has been supported, if I'm not mistaken. I could have sworn the Flex 10 has been supported for a while now. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn they were. Okay. I'm going to try to get out the DJ Pro video before I go to the conference. I'm going to try to get it out. There is another company that I think is going to send me some product that I will have to put ahead of everybody because some things are going to be announced at the expo. So if the speaker stuff, I'm not saying who is sending me anything, but if they do come, I'm going to put those first and then that'll be the review because that'll come out right during the expo. All right. Let's see here. That means I got to dig in my garage. That's a lot. Yeah, I know a lot of people can't do it, not because they can't, but just because maybe they don't have the manpower to do it. But in general, if you can, like I was talking to Nate Nelson, and he has a large production house in Texas, and we were in Vegas. Why were we in Vegas? Oh, for Mex, and we were at a nightclub and we were outside talking, and I just said, yeah, we just started doing production stuff, and he was like, production has changed my life. And there's a lot of DJ companies out there that start out as DJ companies, move into production, and then just like stop doing DJ stuff because the money's so much better in production. But it takes a lot of cash to do a production house. It does. It really does. Okay, let's see. Gold Star says, what's a good speaker on the market? On market? I don't know what that means, Gold Star. Give me a little more information. I once heard some 10-inch boxes fun by fiber optic cablers, and I never heard any better since this was the 90s. I'm not surprised. All right. When you answer for quotation, how looks your quotation? Do you add some pictures, for example? Scout, give me more information. I don't understand this. Okay. Thank you guys for the anniversary love. Okay. This is the facts. And we look, anytime you start out a little more affordable than other people. Cause the companies out there, the established ones charge a grip, right? And then, but you can't get in to those companies. You can't beat them because they're established. It's just like our DJ company. People are like, oh, there's somebody that's just up and coming, but I don't trust that they're going to be able to do what I need them to do on my event date, even though they're good. Are they consistently good? Do they return phone calls? Do they do all this stuff? So there's a lot of little information there. But production's the same way. So we started out cheaper just to get in the door, and then we will raise our rates next year. And I've already learned some of the tricks to raise your rates without even thinking about it, because I've gotten a hold of some production invoices. So we'll start doing that. Spin Griffey says, I was able to hear the KC12 at Guitar Center yesterday. Between that and your review, I'm sold. There you go. See? I just try to be fair and balanced. Philip says, if you book a DJ who is a sub representing your company and you collected a retainer, the client cancels. Do you split the retainer sets with the sub DJ? Well, I don't really do sub DJs because I'm a multi-op, but I guess it depends on when they cancel. So let's say I book something, a month before the event. I ask if so-and-so is available, and they say yes. They lock the date in for me. If a client cancels, I'm still going to kick them down with some money. That's just the right thing to do. If they're like, they work with you a lot as a subcontractor, they know the drill. Sometimes they'll just be like, it's cool, man. And then we'll get them on the next one. So it just depends. What advice would you give someone trying to scale up to a multi-op? Oh, Jesus. That's a tough one. Because your skill is only as good as your worst person. Okay. So the most important part of growing your business is getting the right people in that can do it. Because when people are hiring, Spin Griffey, okay, or whatever the name of your company's called, if they're hiring Spin Griffey and then you're like, I'm not available, but my other guy is, they're going to go, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll trust you. So your word is all you have. So those people have to operate like you. So the first thing I would say is streamline the events that you do. Like make sure that there's no variations between parties. You want to be consistent, and that consistency is what's going to get people in the door. Like that's why when people call us, they're like, "Oh, we're booking check 1, 2." A lot of people don't even ask who their MC is. Like when we do their finalization meeting, 2-3 weeks before their event, they're like, "Oh, who's my MC?" Like, "Oh, it's this person." They never heard of him. Like, okay, cool. But that took a long time to get to, because when we first started out, my partner. Oh, here's one easy trick. Okay, so let's say that you are Spin Griffey Incorporated, okay, and you want to expand. First thing I would do is I would tell you to change your name. Not change your name, but change the name of your company. So if you're Spin Griffey Incorporated, change it to like, Spin Incorporated. Okay? Take your name out of it. Because people, when they're calling, are assuming they're going to get Spin Griffey. So if you tell them you're not available, they're going to bounce. They're going to go, okay, you're not available? I'll find, because remember, people call you, they're probably gotten like multiple references, okay? And at some point, maybe 3 or 4 of those references said, oh, Spin Griffey, really, really good. Okay? So then the client calls you and you're like, oh, I'm not available, but my partner is. They're going to go, people told me that you were the one. You're the good one. Okay? So you need to step away from it. Second thing, which really helped us, do not take your own calls. So if you're trying to expand, you can't be the one handling sales anymore. Or if you are, change your name on the sales call. Okay? Have an alias, because the moment you start talking to them, the moment you're like, oh yeah, and we can do this and we can do that, you're like, oh my God, it's so good. Hey, are you available? Oh no, I'm not available, but my guys are. Oh, okay. So, you want to remove it. I take all the sales calls because my partner was the one that was getting requested all the time. And every time he would answer the phone and say, oh, I'm not available, but my other guy is, they're like, click. I'll call the other referral. And by me taking all the calls, it opened up the door for all the other MCs and DJs. And then people just started to realize that the company was good. So something like that. An RBS group, that's fine. JBK, anything like that, that's fine. That's fine. Just get your name, out of it. Okay. Well, I said that, but remember, it's hard for someone to build their skill sets, and everybody knows that Spin Griffey kills it every time, and then you tell them Spin Griffey's not available. So you have to remove your ego out of a multi-op. Okay? Like you can't be the multi-op guy if it's all about you. So you have to step back. Start saying we do this. The company does this, not I do this. It's little subtleties, but they work. DJ Eat in the building. What's going on? Okay. Client to see how will look. Scowl, where are you from? I'm assuming that English isn't your first language, which is still pretty respectable in all honesty, because most people can't speak any of that. Client to see how will look my speakers in their venue. I had some photo montage of their venue with the speakers. Oh, I see. Okay. Each time I do that, the client is happy and understands what they buy. Yeah. So that's actually a really good idea. That's kind of like, it's kind of like Amazon, like, oh, see how this thing looks in your room. I mean, usually speaking, I don't have to go that far, but that attention to detail is great. is great. And if it sells it, do it. Also, one of the things that people love is when you know the building. When you know the building, or you can show pictures of the time you were at that place with your setup, it goes a long way, because they're like, oh, well, they know the building and they know all the ins and outs. So I'm really, really comfortable. So yeah, I love that. That's a great idea. I think everybody should get into the habit of every time they're at a venue, just take a picture of your setup. Take a picture of your setup, the way it looks after it's done, after it's set up. And then next time somebody's like, oh, I'm going to have it at this party. Oh yeah, this is what we did at the last party. Easy sell. Easy sell. Keith says, use we as a single op. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I had a photographer friend that was a single op. And every time he would talk to people, they would try to, oh, can you come down on your price? Can you do this? Can you do that? And he made up a fake partner. And every time they're like, oh, can you come down? He's like, oh, you know what? I got to run it by my partner. And then he would say, yeah, my partner, we can't do it. We can't do it. So it takes the stress off of him just saying no and puts it on this fake thing over here. I am the kind of person, I thought I'll tell people, nope, we're not doing that. Nope, we can't do that. We don't go lower. We don't do this. Like, I'm very honest with people, and some people might get offended, but I think a lot of people, the reason that we are successful is a lot of people love the honesty. Some people don't want to hear the honesty, but they can't complain if your knowledge is sound. And I'm not an asshole about it. I'm just like, you know what? This isn't a good idea because of this. And if you do this, this is what happens. Matthew says, I'm opposite, adding a premium brand for myself when people reach out. I book my guys into the base brand, but have myself, at least that's one plan I'm working on. Okay, so we have a premium tier. And Matthew, remember, they're asking about getting started. So, premium brands don't really apply when you're a multi-op, when you're just trying to get into a multi-op. But we have a premium brand. The way we do it is very, very simple. And I'll explain first why I don't like having a premium brand just for a single person versus for everybody. Okay. The way we do it is, if a client wants somebody guaranteed, there's a different price point for guaranteed across the board, not on this person or this person. Because when we first started doing the guarantee, the automatic drama that people were like, oh, well, the best people are under the guarantee. These people that aren't under the guarantee are trash. I nixed that quickly and let them know, no, this is just if you really want this guaranteed person. They're all great. You don't have to get them, but if you do want them, there are certain people that are always requested. Like my partner is a guarantee. I'm like, sorry, somebody's going to come in and take that person from you. The reason why I don't like to do premium brands on people, and everybody's different, Matthew. So this is just my perspective. The reason why I like doing premium brands on people is because, in my opinion, it makes your other guys look bad. And I want to be able to send anybody to anywhere. So if we do a premium brand just for so-and-so and so-and-so, I think SCE does this too. It makes me feel like, oh, well, you're just telling me then that these guys are trash. So why would I want these guys when I can pay the money and then get yours? Now, everybody's different. That's just the way I take it. You know what I mean? So we made it where if you wanted to guarantee, which is basically saying I want that person, then it's a premium. Not because of who they are, but because you want me to make sure that they are available on your event and won't take off. It will be on your event. That's how I spin it. But to each their own. If it's working for you, it's working for you. Let's see here. Also, don't use tiered pricing with your DJs. Do it with equipment packages. That's what we do. I mean, and we don't even do it like that. Like, I know some people are like, good sound, better sound, best sound. Like, I don't do all that stuff. I personally think it's corny, and we are dealing with a clientele that is, super well off. So I'm not doing all that. you're going to get good systems. Every system is going to be good. The thing is, every system is going to be appropriate for your party. So if you have 100-person party, I'm going to bring a smaller setup. It's still good, but it's a smaller setup. And if you tell me you got 300 people, you're going to get more lighting, you're going to get more stuff. And that's how our tiers work. This one up to like 100 people, this one up or like 130, this one up to like 185, this one up to 200, this one up to 250. And every time it goes up, everything gets more expensive. So yeah. And Keith, I agree. The same thing applies to your production stuff, but again, same thing. It's like, we have different sizes of our LED wall. You want a small one, you want a medium one, you want a large one. And then when they tell me the amount of people they have, I'm like, okay, you're going to need a bigger wall because you have a lot more people, which means you got a bigger room. So you're going to need a bigger wall. Anything smaller, it's going to look weird, but if they're like, I still want the small wall, I'm not going to say no. I'm just going to say, okay. And we're going to bring that small ass wall to your party. We're still making our money, but that's just the way I do it. Everybody's different. Matthew says, my couples meet and book the DJ of their choice, unless it's a basic party, of course. Those are just whoever. My guys are not going to get the same premium as me. Okay, yeah. So, and even with the premium, we pay our guys more. So if somebody's like, I want them guaranteed, the MCs and the DJs will get more money as opposed to a standard package, and that's our way of saying, hey man, you're doing a good job. I can't just raise your rates to support you on a weekly basis because our packages, there's only so much money in each package, So, if they're asking for you and you're on these premium parties, you're going to make more money. Everybody wins. That's the way I think about it anyway. Everybody wins. Like even right now, we're starting the season up again. And we throw out the email to all the people. Hey, just making sure you guys are still available. You guys are still around. We're getting people like, a couple of our dancers like, I want more money. I'll work, but only if you pay me more money. And I'm like, then you're just not working. Not to mention you haven't even been that good. So why would I pay you more money? People have this weird thing that just because you've been there a long time, that you get more money. This is a part-time gig. It always has been. It's a part-time gig. People try to make the career out of a part-time gig. It's not going to happen. We all have to make money. We all have office expenses and equipment purchases and production costs and, taxes, insurance. All of these things need to be done. And they go up every year too. Sorry. It's part-time. It's part-time. You want to go full-time, you're going to have to do it on your own because it's part-time. So all those people that are like, I want more money, we're like, okay. And we'll just go out and get new people. We'll get new people. And look, we know that, I'm still surprised that our DJs last as long as they do. Some of our DJs have been with us for, 17 years, DJs and MCs. And I'm still surprised that people are like, oh, I'm still happy doing it. One of my guys, very good DJ, but he's like, I need to start focusing on me and doing more club stuff and getting the name out and blah, blah, blah. So I have to take off. I can only work 2 times out of the month. I'm like, that's fine. That is fine. We get it. You're your own person. You're trying to grow your own career. Do it. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to tell people. I never want anybody to feel like we kept them back. DJ Scout, now in DJ Pro, you can access your Rekordbox or Serato Q points. You could do that before. Scout? I think you've just been using an outdated DJ for the longest time. But yeah, that's been in there. At least for Serato. I don't use Rekordbox, so I couldn't tell you about that. But I can always go into my Serato crates. Oh, well, let me show you. This is an older one. This is not 5.4. So let me just see here. No. You questioning me? You questioning me? All right. Look at their update. You can tell me anything. I'm not questioning that there's an update. I'm just telling you. All right. So this is 5.4 here. So I can't go back anymore. But it's been there. Like even the first thing I ever did, and this is how I know I'm telling you the truth. Because when I first got DJ, the first thing, hey, I don't need to be that big. Okay. The first thing that I did was go over here to my crates. Okay. Is that my crate? No, that's not my crate. Hold on. Where is my crate at? It's been a minute since I've been in here. This is my test computer, so some things might not be here. Yeah, external apps. Okay, so here's all my crates. Yeah. All right, now let me go into... I need to find something. Okay, here we go. Check 1, 2. So, adult music. If I load this up, enough. Okay, we won't deal with that right now. But if I load this up, all my crates are there, but they've been there. They were there in the beginning. The problem with the crates wasn't that you couldn't use your crates. The problem with the crates was you could not move your crates around. They're read only. So, like I can't take this and then move it around. It will not let me move it around. Obviously if I go into my normal crates, my music crates, let me go back to, I really got to update this stuff. That's fine. We'll use adult. This one, see, cheap treasure. I can move it around. All right. I can put it here. You cannot do that. These are read-only crates. Okay. And there's certain things you can't do if you're using Serato crates. So if I load something into Serato, if I load something from my Serato crates, certain things didn't used to work on it. So I'm hoping that in 5.4, well, not this 5.4, but in the newest 5.4 update, that they fixed some of those things. That's all I'm saying. I believe I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that like you could always get to your crates, but the only way to make DJ work perfectly was to import your crates because there were certain things that it would not do, and it did it on purpose, obviously. So, but you could always have access to all of your cue points. That was a given. Now, Rekordbox, I'm not sure Rekordbox was there before. Serato was there, but not Rekordbox. So maybe they're talking about the fact that Rekordbox is there and they're just pulling them all into one thing. Because Serato's always been there. All right. Scallops from France. Okay, let's see here. Simeon says there's a big difference between there's a big difference being from the tribe of Judah versus being Jewish. What do you mean? What are you saying? Between you and your subcontract DJ, are you a 50-50 split or 60-40? I don't think that hard. I just give them a fee that like I know that they're willing to accept. That's all. Normally speaking, I mean, it will probably be $400 to $500, somewhere around there. But no, we don't split. Okay. Here is the thing when you're a multi-op. Okay. When you're a multi-op, the DJ, the subcontractor DJ can't demand, I mean, they can demand what they expect to make. But I have certain subcontractor DJs that are like, hey, if I'm going to work your parties, I need to make at least $1,500. And I'm like, you're high. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you didn't bring this party to me. This party was already mine. I'm just giving you work. So if I'm giving you work, you're going to make less money. If you brought a party to me, okay, like, hey, I have certain DJs that are like, hey, I got a wedding. I'm going to do the wedding, but I need an MC. I need all the sound. I need all the lighting. So I'm just going to book it through you. Okay. Yes, you can make more money. But if you're just an employee for that day, you get whatever the rate is. You don't get to demand that you get paid more. And if you do demand you get paid more, you just don't work anymore. I can't afford you. I can't afford to pay you this and run a business. You know, that's the way I look at it. Okay. Mixmaster G in the building. It was not supposed to be a late show. It was not supposed to be a late show. I had this thing scheduled for 10:30, and then my wife, who's still, she works on Thursdays, and which is usually never a problem, but my kid still has dance things, and this dance thing started at 10 a.m. today out in the valley. It takes, 35 to 40 minutes to get there. So I'm like, if I get her there at 10 and I run back, I'm like, it's too much. I'm just going to go to the gym and I'll set it up for a later time. So sorry. But thank you for hanging out today. Matt says, my guys were 45%. Wedding starts at 1K for them. I own all the gear other than one DJ who makes 150 more because of their gear. Yes. So this is what Matthew is saying is dead on. All right. If I provide everything and you basically just bring your controller, but I provide the speakers and the microphone and the lighting, and I rent the van so you can transport this stuff to the gig. You're just an employee. There's a rate that you're going to get for that. If you tell me, hey, I have my own gear, I'm going to bring my own gear, I'm going to use my own car, my own vehicle, then I'm going to say, yeah, we're going to pay you more because I don't have to rent a van from U-Haul. You have your own equipment, so you're going to get paid more. And I don't have to think about your party for that weekend. So yes, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Matthew sounds like he's running his business correctly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we don't do Danny Mac's booth. You're much higher end than we are. We have the Pro X booths for everybody. I use a booth. I use Danny Mac's booth. My partner uses a Humpter booth. And I still have to get a Humpter. I'm getting another Danny Mac's booth just for weddings. So it looks clean. But everything else is just like white Pro X booths, and it's all good. Nobody complains about them. As a matter of fact, I had a client just ask me, can I have that one booth? I'm thinking they were talking about the Humpter booth. So I'm like, yeah, let me see if it's available. And then they sent me a picture. It's just a Pro X booth. I'm like, oh, that's it? I got 15 of those. Yeah, that's not a problem. Have you ever rented or loaned gear to other DJs that don't work for you? Yes. More importantly, the question is, do you still rent or loan gear to other DJs that don't work for you? No. They just don't take care of my stuff, or they take it. And then I'm like, hey man, we got events this weekend. Can you bring the gear back? Oh yeah, I'll get there as soon as possible. And I'm like, dude, and then they come back and say something's broken. Now I don't even have time to replace it. So this is what we do. Some people are okay with it. Some people are not. If we rent out gear, we have a person that goes there, sets it all up, waits for it, breaks it down, takes it back. That's the only way I feel comfortable with it, because this is still production stuff. I can't have my production stuff failing. So you're going to charge the client anyway that you're renting the gear from, so, or that you're doing the party for. So you just charge them a little more. That's it. Can you add another sub in cardioid mode concerning the KCs as the Mauis? I mean, cardioid mode is subjective just to the equipment that you have, but yes, you should. I don't remember in the details a cardioid switch, but I'm sure it's there. They're running this knowing that they have to run with multiple subs, And Keith just said, yes, you can. So there you go. Oh, we don't talk about money. We don't talk about money. It's funny. I mean, look, you guys are all DJs here, so, we can be honest, but like in general, like I never bring up how much we clear. And, for a while, especially after the pandemic, we were hitting like, before we got into production, even no, like right before we started getting into production, I think that year we had just cleared 1 million. And then we got into production, and now I'm hoping that we clear 2 million, this year. But I don't tell people that, because then they go, oh, you guys make too much money. Oh, you need whatever the bullshit is. I'm like, dude, we're working a shit ton and we're working our asses off. That's why we clear it. But everybody thinks that just because you clear $1 million, that you have $1 million. You don't. You don't, because you still got to pay people. You still have to pay all that human resource in the offices and the new equipment and all these things. It takes away, which is why we got into production, because I'm like, there's no way that we, as a company, can make enough money to like take care of ourselves for the future just with DJing. We do 10 parties a weekend. In order to do that, we'd have to do double the amount of parties. We'd have to do 20 events every Saturday in order to hit that number. I don't want to hit 20 events. That's crazy. Okay. So you do production, adds in an additional, every production gig is its own gig. So let's say we have, 7 events on the 23rd. The production, that's another event. And the lighting, that's another event. And we have 2 walls, and now we're doing dance floors. So all of those things are additional production things. They're events, and the most important part of production that people don't realize, you don't pay for talent. You pay for skilled workers. It is not the same. So if you have to pay a DJ $1,000 to do your event, you pay a skilled worker $300. And the profit margins are so much higher in production, because in DJing, you're spending so much on human resources, so much. So yeah, it's helped us out tremendously. Yeah, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that, because we're not going to get into that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm Jewish throughout, whether it be, Black Jews or Jewish from Israel. It's all the same to me. And I don't get into the nitty gritty of that, because that's just, it's the same shit we're dealing with right now with politics. Everybody wants to like say, oh, we did this. I'm like, no. We is a world. We are all in this one world. So I don't get into that, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. But I'm happy. When we hit our first million, we were like, we can't say anything. We can't tell anybody this. And then the next year, I think we did like 1.3, and then we did like 1.6. And I think last year it was like 1.7 or 1.8, somewhere around there. Gross sales. So I'm happy. Now, of course, we live in California. Shit is expensive here. So, but like, that's why I tell people, I'm like, I have a 5-year plan. Not that I won't still be working or whatever I'm going to be doing, what capacity, but in 5 years from now, everything should be 100% established, because we're still establishing the production. It's still being established, But once we start doing production outside of our core business, like right now, people that book us are booking us on our events. Because I was like, well, why are we paying? Why are you bringing in an LED wall guy to do the party when we could just buy one and start doing them? Like, that's just stupid. So in 5 years from now, everything should be established. We're going to clear even more. And I can, what did Thanos say? I can sit back and smile on a grateful world. Nate Acosta in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Nate's my guy. Nate's my guy. It's funny. There are people out there that you just meet and you're just like, I fuck with you. That's Nate. Nate's he's a good guy. Him and DJ Mad, like every time we go to Expo, we're just the crew. Mad, Kova, all that stuff. It's always a good time. And I'm excited to see you guys next. Oh my God, is it really in just a little over a week? Jesus. Time's moving fast. Rolling 808 day is, there you go. I threw it on because I needed a shirt. I'd gone to the gym, I'd taken some calls, and I wasn't on like video. So I'm just sitting there just with no shirt on and just sitting there. And I'm like, oh shit, I need a shirt. So I just ran over and threw one on real quick. It was clean. It was hanging up. So there you go. There's that. Okay. Let's see what other questions we have here. If there is an AI DJ that can replace the DJs that you book, would you? No. I mean, look, I think we need to get into a habit of realizing, okay, that AI is not for the people. Yes, we love ChatGPT and we love all the things that it can do. It's not doing them for us. It's not doing them for us. It's doing them for them. And as soon as they can train something good enough to replace you, they will. So there's absolutely no way in hell that I'm going to start, and trust me, I get people all the time emailing me, hey man, I have this AI company. Do you want to blah, blah, blah. We want to sponsor you. I'm like, yeah, you guys just got tons of cash and you want to pay me to do these videos and sponsorships, but I don't, AI should help, should not replace. And there's a lot of replacing going on. And trust me, Apple Music just put a mix in their phone. Okay. DJ has a really good mix. Virtual DJ has a really good auto mix. Let's not start just pushing us out of a job this soon. And when it's all said and done, without additional gear, your AI can only do so much. It's going to be smart. It's going to do, when it's all said and done, it's going to do 75% of what it is that you do. Okay. 75 to 80%. What it can't do is feel movement, feel change, make a dramatic change for no reason because you see a moment. Like, it's not going to do those things. Okay. It's going to play it safe. And we, as Mixmaster said, added value is a secret to combat AI. This is true. This is very, very true. And if you want to keep doing what you do and doing what you love, you absolutely have to provide added value. So what is your added value? There's certain things that AI can't do. AI can't build a beautiful room for you. AI can't build the wall for you. Yeah, AI could probably run the wall, but they can't build the wall. They can't build the dance floor. So there's still going to be things that are there. AutoMix doesn't have phrasing, says Matthew. This is true, but it's coming. It's coming. DJ did something recently. We were having a party for my kid's birthday, and I just threw it on the iPad and, Bluetoothed it to one of my LDs. And a couple of times, the mixes, I was like, damn, I can't believe it got the phrasing right. It hit right when it was supposed to hit. I was like, okay, time to be concerned now. But again, we're not the ones right now that need to be concerned if we're mobile DJs and event DJs, because you still need that person there. However, anybody that is doing gyms, doing store openings and all that stuff, they don't need you. They don't need you. They don't need you. We just want somebody to play good music. Nightclubs, you still need interaction. And Matthew just said it. You still need mic work. You're not going to be able to get past that. So we're there, but there's a lot of these low-level DJs that are going to be out of business. They're going to be out of business, but it's just going to make what a live DJ does even that more special. You got what I'm saying? Like that, you'll just be, oh my God, we could have gone with the AI DJ, but this DJ, this human being, he's so good. He's so good. Find your niche, So if you're just a DJ that's just doing your thing, I play from song to song and I just blend from song to song. I never change it up. I play the same shit every time. You're going to be replaced. So yeah, bands are getting requested. I get a lot of people that want extra instrumentalists, like we'll bring a drummer in or a saxophone or a violinist. It's all value added. And that AI will not be able to play with that instrumentalist. That AI won't be able to drop out the beat because they know that there's a moment that drummer is going to go off. AI is not going to know that. It knows this song works and this song works and this song works based upon an algorithm. What was that movie? Armageddon, when Ben Affleck's character, when they're in the water and they're running through the scenarios in the water, and Ben Affleck's character is like, no, man, you built this rig. This rig can handle this, even though the algorithm is saying it's going to blow. It's not going to blow. You know what you're doing. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. The AI is going to play it safe. AI is not going to take risks. Keith, good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. AI is not going to take risks. Human beings will take risks. Human beings will take a request and know when to play that song. And AI is going to take a request and is just going to put that song wherever. That's the one thing I will say about the AI. Like I watched when I was playing on on DJ, I watched the song because it was just going down the list, right? And I had one song that was like 110 beats per minute and another song that was 85 beats per minute. And it literally changed the tempo, slowed it down, transitioned out, and then sped it back up again. That's not normal. That's not normal DJing. But for an auto mix, it's fine. And for like your standard everyday, oh, that's a kid's party in my backyard. Perfect. Nate says, what is the best thing you have done for your business this year so far? You came in late. We were just talking about production. The best thing that we've done is invest in our production group. Like Nate Nelson. We started building our production. We bought our first wall a year ago, April. Because what are we in right now? We're in July. So last April, of 24, we bought our first LED wall, and that LED wall goes out at least once or twice a month, every month now. And in a lot of cases, that wall's been going out every week, so that alone just doing the walls and then building up our lighting has made us so much more profitable and has helped our bottom line. And when I say our bottom line, I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking about the partners. I'm talking about me and my partner, because you missed it earlier, but I'm like, you can't keep draining the money out of your DJ company, because you got to have that in there. And if you're taking all the money because you got to live, you really can't grow your DJ company the way you want to. So in order for me to make more money, there's only one option. It's not, oh, let me just raise the rates on my clients. I'm going to lose clients. We have raised our rates. Yes, we moved up into a higher tier, so we get the more expensive people. But even then, there's a limit to how high you can go before people are like, no, I'll just go with so-and-so. But if you start saying, hey, here's our packages. Okay. Oh, you want the guaranteed? You want the premium? Okay. Here's that. Oh, by the way, we have LED walls. We do light installs. We have LED flooring. And they're like, oh, we want that. And I'm like, okay, I just made with lighting. If I do lighting, an LED wall and an LED dance floor. Okay. I will charge $15K for that. Just for that. Not the DJing, just for that. You know how much I pay out for the skilled labor? I pay probably $1,000. I probably pay another $400 to $500 in transportation. And if I'm not the one doing the wall, like I have somebody I have to pay, I got to pay them, if I'm not doing it, another $800. Okay. So what's that? $2,300. We'll make it an even $2,500. Okay. Maybe because I got to buy pieces here and there. We'll say $3,000, $3,000, but I charged 15. So $12,000 of that is profit. Goes nowhere. And the reason why it's all profit is because my warehouse is still being paid for by the DJ company. So I've essentially made a whole new company for production. And all of that money is what my partner and I grow. Like that money's not going to the DJs. The DJs have their money. And Nate, you should be scared to buy one. In all honesty. I mean, I tell people, I'm like, don't go out and just buy shit. There's a running joke that I have, and because I'll get a call every 6 months. Hey man, it's so-and-so. What's going on? Hey, I just bought a photo booth. Cool. So, yeah. So let me know when you need me. Oh, okay. I will. Yeah. So, whenever you need me, I'm there, let's work it out. Let's work out a deal. And I'm like, okay, I have 3 photo booths of my own already. And I have people that go out with those photo booths. You are, if I even want to use you, you're overflow. You're the overflow. So you're not gonna, just because you bought a photo booth doesn't mean you're gonna make money. So you went out and spent $2,000 to $3,000, and first off, you can't charge that for a photo booth, and you have no reputation, you have no referrals, you're just losing money. So I tell people, don't buy a photo booth just to buy a photo booth. Don't do that. Now, even when we started doing photo booths, our first photo booth was a subcontractor. It was a guy. He had a lot of events. We're like, hey man, we want to put you on. We're going to put a photo booth on the brochure. Then we're going to use you. We used him for a year. In the meantime, we bought our own photo booth. And then when we got that second party that came in where he couldn't do it, because I think we started hitting 2 parties and then we were sending him, and then his wife was doing the other photo booth. Then we bought our own photo booth. We got our second party. We would send him to one, and then we would send our person to the other, or vice versa. And then after a certain amount of time, we had another photo booth. We pushed that other person out. Not in a bad way, because they had their own company, but that's how you do it. Don't just spend money to spend money. Work smarter. You're still going to make a profit off that photo booth rental. It's not going to be as much. Let's say you charge $1,000 for a photo booth. Maybe you pay that photo booth guy as a subcontractor. You pay him $500 or $600. So now you got $400 profit that you made off of it. And you didn't actually have to do anything. So you take that $400, you save up, you do 6, 10 parties. Now you buy your own photo booth, train your other person up. Same thing applies for everything you do. and it works, and it works. It works, but everybody wants to just spend all their money at the time, and then they're wondering why they go out of business. We haven't bought anything. We've been in business. We're going on our 18th year. We've bought one thing that never made money. And that was a blacklight box. We went out and we bought like 3 blacklight boxes. And over the years, I'm like, we keep sending out the same single blacklight box, or 1 or 2. We've never used this third one. We had custom boxes made and everything. We never used it. Ever. And then after that, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. Did you rent out your first video wall as well? No. So this is where your name comes into play. Okay. Our reputation for delivering consistently great parties leads to more trust from party planners, vendors, clients. So the moment we were thinking about buying it, and we started testing the water a little bit. We started talking to party planners like, hey, we're thinking about buying a wall. And they're like, oh, if you buy a wall, we'll definitely use you. Like, they didn't even think about it. Okay. So we bought a wall. We had a party booked for May 4th or May 5th. And we learned how to build it, learned how to run the software and everything a week before that party. Party was a success. Everything was good. God, it was borderline a success. We did a lot of screwed up things. Anyway, we put it after that, after we did the one, we posted it online and everything. All I did was put on the brochure, and people just go, hey, I see you have a video wall here. Yes, we do. That's all it took. That's all it took. And then they go out. They don't go out because there's a video wall on my brochure. They go out because our reputation precedes us. That's why we get the bookings. So when we bought the LED floor, we just threw it on the brochure. We didn't have any floor rentals. I knew we were going to use it for my daughter's bat mitzvah at the end of the month, next month, but we didn't have anybody. We just bought it, put it on the brochure. We got like 4 bookings off of that. They're not immediate, but they're like 4 bookings in this season. Problem solved, but without a reputation, you can't sell anything. So you got to have the reputation, build up your DJing, and then people will trust that if you bring something else in, they will give you a chance. We did our lighting. Our lighting was one thing. We had a lot of people give us a chance on lighting installs. And then we were like, we needed to be easier. So we went out, we did the whole Chinese route, bought all of this uplighting and color washes and all these things. And we started doing them, and people were like, oh, well, this person is cheaper. This person is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but everything that we have here is battery powered. There's no wires. There's no plugs. There's no tape down. So it's clean. We mount the pin spots to the ceiling. There's no big ass, poles in a lot of places. Oh, okay. You guys are serious about this. Yes, we are. We're going to use you. They have to trust you though. That's it. They got to trust you. It's the same thing as people that are like, oh yeah, I got a photo booth. I don't trust you. I don't know you. Just because you bought one doesn't mean I'm going to use you. So it just depends. When people spend a lot of money on an expensive camera and hardly use it and just collects dust, it's funny. I have, so this is my A7 IV, and people are always like, oh, your picture looks so good. I used to bring this out with me all the time. I might have to bring it to Expo since I'm doing the live stream for Hollywood DJ. The only reason why I would use it is because I could use my DJI, Pocket 3, but I can't put borders around it. I can't see comments. So I don't know. I'm still playing with it. We'll figure out what I'm going to do. I'll know this by 3 days from now. It would make my setup a lot lighter. I can tell you that much. Or I shoot the whole thing and then I just release a full-on video after the fact. So, but this camera, my A7 IV, used to go out with me all the time. Now it stays in this office. I still have my Lumix up here. I keep wanting to replace it with another A7 IV, but I don't want to pay the money. So I think I'm going to end up getting like, one of the crop sensor ones because it's only to show the video for my overhead. You know, this, my is it even on? I mean, where's it at? This one still takes really, really good shots. It's not as good as my A7 IV, but it does the job. But I probably will at some point. I gambled on buying Chinese brand lighting and I've been surprised not all of them are trash. Yeah, most of them aren't. And, you know, most of them are being made in the same manufacturing plant that the high-end ones are. Speaking of, we should probably talk a little bit about kind of what's been happening across the board. A lot of these lighting companies, I'm not going to say where I heard all this stuff, but I've heard it more than once. A lot of these lighting companies are potentially pulling out of the DJ market. Chauvet, you know, ADJ. When was the last time you saw ADJ at a conference? Chauvet's pulling out of the, I think Chauvet's pulled out of Expo. They weren't at NAMM. A lot of people are pulling out, and they're not just pulling out of the conferences. I've been hearing that they're pulling out of the DJ world completely. I don't care about the DJI 360. I have the other one, the Insta360 X5. The X5 is still better in low light than the 360 is, than the DJI is. So I only bought it for low light. It's only for when I'm performing. So I don't really care about all the other features. I just wanted to be able to look good in low light. So as Matthew just said, I swear by both lighting 2 straight years and without touching my Ultra Vase. This is the problem. So these Chinese manufacturers have come in, and a lot of people are, so far, there's been some copyright infringement claims. There's a lot of little things, you know, and I, for one, would not want to make a fantastic light and people walk in and go, that's a cool light. I'm going to wait for sheds. I'm going to wait for Color Key. I'm going to wait for both lighting to just make a copy of it. And I'll buy it from them at a third of the price. You can't be profitable in the lighting business. But here's a problem. The one thing that I think people aren't thinking about, most of the lighting hardware comes from specs that these larger companies have been putting out. Okay. They come from these larger specs. So if Chauvet comes out with a fantastic light and then this Chinese company knocks it off, and they stop coming up with new things, you're going to have a whole bunch of shitty lights out there. Haven't you seen some of the lighting that these companies have been trying to put out? It's a lot of these Chinese lights are shitty. They're dumb. They're like, I feel like I'm going back in time with, you know, some of these, you know, they have like, they're trying to go back to the spinning lights and they have like octagons and little sticks out of them. Nobody wants those crazy ass lights. Nobody wants that. We want clean. And I feel like they're trying to figure out how to make good products without the references of these major companies. So it's actually a bad thing for us. I know people don't want to admit it because they're like, no, but it's cheaper. It's good for me. It's only good for you to a point until they stop making quality stuff. And I don't mean like quality like uplights. I mean like just new, like outside the box thinking. They're not doing outside the box thinking. And if they are, it's shitty product. So, we might lose Chauvet DJ. They'll still be around. There's, you know, they still have their higher end lighting. But the DJ brand could be going away. And we're going to feel it. I know we don't think about it, but we are going to feel it. Ape Labs is a different thing altogether. Ape Labs, you know, they're high end. They're boutique. So I don't have an issue with Ape Labs. But, you know, Ape Labs comes out with, you know, with these guys. They come out with these guys, and then Both Lighting comes out with their own version of them, and now nobody wants these guys. Ape Labs can't just lower their prices. So what are you going to do? Oh, by the way, I did not see, but I remember. I think it was Callow that put in another super chat, and I want to say thank you for that. Let me get back to my super chat. I know it's in there somewhere. I think it was Callow. Where to go? Where to go? Yep, Callow, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate that. Honestly, thank you. Oh, you think 160 per uplight is a lot? My Freedom Par hexes were $300 per light. Every box I bought a box of 9. That's the charging box they came in. It was a box of 9. The charging box was another $300. So I spent $3,000 per 9 uplights. $3,000. You know how much? You know what I got for the $3,000 that I paid for with my Chinese lights? I think I got 80, all with charging boxes, and I think it cost me around $3,000. So you do the math. You do the math. You know, the movers that they keep coming out with, people don't even repair them anymore. When a mover dies, they just throw them away. They legitimately throw them away. No repair. The mover, and I'm not talking about small little sheds or color key lights. I'm talking about like full production movers. They buy enough. They're like $70 a mover. When it dies, they break it down. They throw it in the trash can. We're in a different world now. We are in a different world. We are in a different world. So, I mean, more power to both for what they do. I don't have any both lighting. I'm not against both lighting. I just feel like both lighting is consistent with all the other Chinese manufacturers. Like all the top rated Chinese manufacturers, they all do a good job. So I'm not like, why both and not the other one? You know what I mean? So to each their own. Everybody's different. Okay. What time is it? Okay. Couple more. We'll go till 5:30. Then I'm going to take off. I got stuff to do. I got food to make. Ronald Grimes says, I hear that Rain will not be at the expo. No, they will not. I've already gotten confirmation from Rain. I'm actually a little saddened by this. I thought that they learned their lesson last time. We've had long conversations. I haven't talked to the owner. We had dinner with myself. It was Mojax, Jason Stout, and the owner, and we talked about him. Like they showed up at NAMM, but they weren't in NAMM. They were just like in a hotel room. I'm like, you guys got to come back. I know you don't want to spend the money, but it's worth it. People need to be able to touch and feel your products. It's very unfortunate that there is a Rain 1 MK2 that's coming out soon, and it won't be at the expo. I thought that was just talk about not. You know what I mean? I was very annoyed because I'm like, it's not a secret. I talk to Rain all the time. And when they told me, they're like, okay, this is it. This is the date it comes out. But before I had the date, I was like, well, at least I needed till I have time to put my review out for the expo. And they're like, oh, we're not going to the expo. Here's the release date of the Rain 1 MK2. And I was like, are you serious? Like, how do you even say that with a straight face? Are you serious? You got all these people. And it'd be one thing if the release date for the MK2 was 6 months down the line. It's not. So you're not even going to have a demo there? You can only tell somebody something enough times. And if they don't listen, they don't listen. But it is a shame. I think they are really screwing up on this one. Because remember, when the MK2 came out at NAMM, yeah, you could see it, but first off, you couldn't see it on Thursday or Friday. I think they opened up to the public on Sunday, I think. And but that was it. A lot of people can't go to NAMM. You know, it's not something that a lot of people, they're on the other side of the coast. They're not going to NAMM. And now you're on the other side of the coast. You already released the demo at NAMM and you don't bring it to the expo? Questionable business practices. That's all I will say. It's not what I would do. Okay, let's see here. All right, we got another 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. I'm probably going to end up with one of those. Or if I can find a cheaper used A7 III, then I'll use that one because that's fine. The only problem with the A7 III is it doesn't have a flip out screen. And when I'm trying to like set things up and make changes and I'm looking up, if the screen's on the backside, it's going to just screw me up. So I need one with the flip out screen. So it'll either be, there's an A7 IV-C that's cheaper. I will wait for the A7 V to come out. When that comes out, I will buy a used A7 IV to put overhead, and then we'll be just clean across the board. And yes, this is exactly what they're doing, Drew. Okay. And you know, Drew, DJI does make my life easier, except for the fact that it is harder to get B-roll with. I don't know why, but it's harder to get B-roll with. The gimbal part, I actually just need to go back in and really, really mess with it. But the gimbal, if you're holding it down, you know, so the camera stays in place and you start to slide the thing down, every so often the gimbal will give you a little warning like, oh, this is not the right blah, blah, blah. And then it'll like reset itself. I don't know. I just hold a camera like an A7 IV. I hold it differently and I can just get it everywhere I need it to go. It's just different. I'm getting better at it, but it doesn't feel the same when I'm getting B-roll. It doesn't feel the same. Okay. Any more questions before we start to end the show today? Any more questions? DJ Rusty says, thinking about getting into the wedding band thing and offering it as an affordable add-on for my DJ package. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would do a full band. I would do like parts of a band. Like I said, drummer, maybe a drummer and a saxophonist, drummer and a violinist, something like that. I think you're good with that. But I've had this idea about doing a band in reverse. So like the DJ operates as like the drummer. I went and saw the Roots Come Alive tour a long time ago. And Common was there, and the Roots had a full band, but for whatever reason for Common, was it Common? Was the Roots Come Alive? Maybe it was just a Common show. Anyway, maybe it was just a Common show. It was at the same venue. And he had his DJ. And there were songs where he had vocalists, but instead of bringing the vocalist, he just had stems for the vocalist. Then they would just bring the vocalist in, like whenever they wanted to. So it gave the DJ more control. So if Common's like, wait, hold up, bring it back, blah, 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 like he could do that and like do whatever. And I thought that was so cool. I would love to do something where the DJ is the drummer and you still have all the other pieces. You have a singer, you got all the instruments, but then the DJ is the drummer only. So the DJ can ride that BPM properly, and do something like that. So like a reverse hybrid band. Maybe I'll still do it one day. All right. You guys have been really quiet. So I guess you have no more questions. Easy enough for me. I'll have to look into that. Okay. Yep, Matthew, it's the only way. Just extra money. Why not take the extra money? All right, Scout says, I'm thinking to add lights like the Chauvet Color Strike M, but easy to install. No need for a stand. Looks good. We can see them a lot at shows now. Do I like them? The Chauvet Color Strike M. Let me take a look at that one real quick. Oh, there it is. Oh, these guys. Okay. I'm not mad at it. It's essentially like a moving color wash, but it only does up and down. Okay, I'm not mad at that. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Like I think well, here's a, let's see, Chauvet DJ. Let me go to Chauvet DJ real quick. Okay. What is it? The Intimidator? I think the biggest problem with Chauvet is their lineups are they're old. Like their movers are old. Okay. So, for instance, this gig bar bridge, by the way, this is probably the first thing they should have come out with in the first place. I really do like this. I do like this. I like that you can connect more, and this is going to give you, you know, pretty much everything you need. How much are these guys? $1,000, $1,100. Do they not even have them in stock anywhere? Hold on, let me look. It's like Guitar Center, so let's check Hollywood or Northridge. Okay, so they do have them at the Hollywood site. Yeah, but those are good. Those are good. I have a feeling that was kind of the last thing they came out with. I have a feeling that like you'll see another company that comes out with this, you know. But even like companies like JMAS, nobody's happy. Nobody's happy with the DJ market now. You know, I think it's essentially the same thing as like when not when streaming came out, even streaming, you know, but like before streaming, we had like Napster and stuff like that, and people were like, "Oh, we're losing our money," but the reason why people were doing that was because the music wasn't that good. You know, they had like a couple of songs out of a whole album that were good, so people were like, "I don't need that. I'll just do that." And then streaming came along, and then it got even worse. You know, and I mean, I guess the music industry fixed that by buying basically or putting a lot of money into the streaming services, so they end up making money, but the artists don't make any money. The same thing is applying to like all the lighting. You know, they're coming out with all these new things, and then they're not making any money off of them, and then somebody comes in and just buys it or makes their own version. This would not be hard to make. You know, would not be hard to make at all. But they still have the same ugly ass gobos in them. So that's always going to be a problem. Those ugly ass gobos. Okay. Yeah. ADJ started earlier. They 4146. Is that how much that light costs? $4,100? No way. No way. That is crazy. Hold on. They don't even have Where's my buy now? Let me look at this video real quick. The video doesn't even show you anything. Okay. That is insane. That is insane. Judging by these caps, I assume it's a waterproof light. It's IP rated. Yep. IP is 65 rated. Motorized strobe wash. 180 degree tilt. Yeah. See? Not for us. Not for us. I don't care how big it is. That is not for us. Wow. That is crazy. Okay. Oh, you're preaching to the choir, man. It's so dumb right now. It's so dumb that we haven't fixed that yet. It's 2025. Oh, Sheds has a version too? What do they call it? Yeah, what do they call it? You know, I'll go to Sheds real quick. Let me go to Sheds. Okay, thank you. Sheds. Par waterproof. Did I spell that wrong? Coral par? Huh. I'll go to their website then. Yeah, Sheds has been trying to work with me for a long time. And it's a me thing. A 1,000-watt RGB strobe. That is crazy. Oh, it is humongous. Okay. It's big. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I'm mad. I am not mad at that. No, I don't need that. I am not mad at that. Yeah, $700. $700 from $4,000 to $700. Like right now, they're legitimately, like Chauvet and ADJ, they're legitimately living just off of their name, their reputation, and probably their contacts that are like, we need a full lighting show. And they know that Chauvet can do it. So they know they have all the stuff. So they just hire them to do it. They can charge all these premiums. But that's crazy. I mean, it's 6 times the cost. I might have to ask them to send me a couple of those. It does look nice though. Yeah, I mean, they won't cost more for you. They'll cost more for us. They probably already built that into the oh, what just happened here? Hold on. Into the price point of like those. You know, maybe they were closer to like 2,500 before, and now they're 4,000. I'm not spending 4,000 on any light. Anyway, that's crazy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I can't even argue this. I was literally about to be like, hey man, come on guys. You gotta buy name brand at some point. You don't have to buy it all the time, but like not if it's $4,000. I'm not telling you to buy that. I'm gonna say go to Sheds. Go get it from Sheds. And Sheds comes with a case. I can guarantee you that Chauvet does not have a case. I can guarantee you that. That's too bad. Okay, well, long live Sheds. Long live Sheds. All right, guess who I'll be emailing tonight? Hey man, let's talk. Because right now, I mean, actually, I'm trying to build up a relationship with somebody that will sponsor us from our production side. So if Sheds wants to be that guy, because we need a shit ton of movers, you know, but the problem with movers is not the problem with, but like what we're dealing with right now is we have a whole bunch of movers. They're all different manufacturers and stuff like that. You know, we bought them over time, but now we need like 10 movers. So, and they go everywhere because when you're doing production, they have to be the same. The movers have to be the same. It's too much work trying to match colors and stuff like that. So it's just best to just get the same movers across the board. Anyway, I was looking for, RGB AUV spot for a disco ball and thought there would be a copycat, but didn't find it and ended up with the Chauvet. So yeah, there are certain things that people aren't doing. I've noticed that too, it's just Chauvet. Like Chauvet does some things that like, I don't understand. Like they came out with, Chauvet was actually the first company to come out with like the magnetic pen spots. Okay. Nobody else was doing them at the time. So they were more expensive, but it made sense. They were the only ones doing them. ADJ came out with some too. They came out with a DMX version with RGB pen spots. And I was like, that's what I want. And that's when they were in the bar, you know, there was like 6 in a bar. So I'm like, that's what I want. I want to do that. I want to be able to control all the things. Then they just discontinued them. And they weren't even like on the market for like a year and they discontinued them. And that's the problem with Chauvet. They discontinue all their stuff. But now they have the smaller cubes and stuff for like production and they are RGB. But they cost a shit ton of money. So we have white pens. Can't go wrong with white. Off-white, I guess you'd have to say. I mean, they have the different lumen color projection, so we can modify it. But yeah, not the same. Not the same. So more power to them or no power to them. Either way. I did see the fire, and I did see the wall they came up with. Not this. It was big, but it definitely didn't have the same impact when I saw the videos. I'm glad they got it. I'm glad they got it going. I'm glad they got it working. But if I was going to Tomorrowland, I probably would have been disappointed with the main stage. I'm glad that they got it up, but it is what it is. All right. Scal, thanks for hanging out today. It is getting late for me too. I'm 10 minutes over the way I wanted to. So I'm going to go. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I will have the show next Thursday, hopefully at its usual time. And then I'll be at Expo the following week. will not have a show on Thursday, but I will have a live stream one of those days, probably like Wednesday. But, you know. Oh, by the way, Mixmaster, I don't know. I know comedy is subjective, so everybody's going to see it differently. And I know humor is different in each like country, but I've been hearing great things about Naked Gun. Like everybody that's seen it so far, like my top YouTube reviewers that I watch, they're all like, I laughed my ass off. I laughed. I could not stop laughing the entire time. So I don't know if you're interested in it, but I'm going to go see it at some point. That might even be like an evening thing after we go out to dinner. We'll go see a movie or whatever and just laugh our asses off. So anyway, there's that. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Girls, thanks for hanging out. And we will see you guys next week. Another video will come out. If you haven't seen my KC12 video, go check it out now. I was okay with Happy Gilmore. I think it's the best movie he's made for Netflix since he got that big ass deal with Netflix. It was fine. I like where they went. Good storyline. Got a little crazy, towards the end where I was like, okay, this is just the shark has jumped the shark. Sorry. Anyway, would I ever go to ADE? Absolutely. If somebody would sponsor me to get there, I will absolutely go. But I need to be sponsored. I can't afford that on my own. But I would go. Anybody want to send me? Send me. Fantastic Four. Thank you, Mixmaster. I liked it. I do think Superman was better because Fantastic Four felt like there was a lot more movie that was supposed to be there. And because the I don't know, the people up top were like, we need to keep it under 2 hours. Because that movie could have been at least 20 minutes longer and I would have been totally fine with it. Everybody in the movie was great. Silver Surfer was fantastic. It was a good movie, but it could have been better. Now, I'm not saying it was bad. I enjoyed it and I will watch another one if it comes out, but whatever mandate that they have on Marvel right now, it seems like they're sacrificing some things. Like before, all their movies were too long. They were 2.5 hours, 3 hours long. I get it. People were like, okay, enough. This one needed to be another half hour long. But it's good. It's good. I did like Superman better. I found myself more engaged with Superman and the characters than I did with Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, I was watching and enjoying what I was watching. Beautiful, by the way. Watch it in the theater. It's beautiful. The set design is A+. Set design is A+. The action scenes, when there are action scenes, A+. There's this scene where they're in space. A+ scene. A+. But still, I hope that there's a director's cut at some point. I really do. Okay, anyway, I do got to run. Hey, thanks for hanging out today. Watch the KC12 video. Thank you guys for all that have watched it already. If not, please go watch it. Next week will be one of 3 videos because I'm only doing one a week and we're doing it all in one. Next week will be either the AI speaker. I might do 2 because that one's going to be easy. That one, I need to do the Phoenix review. If a product comes into my house that I need to use, if a product comes, I'm gonna have to push one of those back because it'll have to be done before the expo. But besides that, and then the DJ video, the DJ review. Thank you, Mixmaster. Absolutely. So, and that's it. I mean, that's not it. I got a shit ton more, but those are the ones I'm focusing on right now. I'm getting them off my desk, getting them out of my way so I did that KC12 video and my brain went like this. Okay, I'm ready to do another one. And then, okay, I'm ready to do another one. But when there is a whole bunch all the time, I'm like, I don't want to do any of them. All right, y'all. I got to run. I hear somebody at my door. I think my family's home. I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend. If you have parties, have great parties. I know somebody said they had 4. Good luck on them. And I will see you next week. All right. Peace out.